Be Lucky podcast with me, your host, Daryl Carter. Now, we're going to change things up this week, right? I can't stand the Shergar Cup meeting, okay? I think it's a betting medium that should not be a betting medium, put it that way. We've got jockeys coming in from all over the world, which is fantastic for a viewing spectacle. But in terms of a betting spectacle, there's too many unknowns. Racing is hard enough to find winners without trying to work out whether the jockey knows his way around the course or not. So here is your schedule today. The 2:25 at Haydock, the 3 o'clock at Haydock, the 3:07 at Newmarket, the 3:25 at the Curragh, the 3:40 at Newmarket, the 6 o'clock at the 4 o'clock at the Curragh, and the 4:10 at Haydock. Now we're going to go through in time order, and I will give you the race names as we do it. But we are flipping the script this week. No Shergar Cup on this channel. No point in getting through that when we just don't know about the jockey situation and whatnot. So we'll start over at Haydock in that 2:25. It is the Dick Hearn Stakes. It's a listed race. It is on ITV. There's 9 runners. It's worth 36 grand. Shawari heads the market. These are the best prices that I'm giving you at the moment. Some of the markets don't even have prices because we flipped the script, but we can still talk through the races. Shawari heads the market 10-3. Arola 9-2. Never Let Go for Ed Walker off the back of that Royal Ascot win over Cajole in the Sandringham Stakes is 9-2. Protest 7-1 on the back of a Goodwood victory 11 days ago. Sweet Franchise for Charlie Johnson 7-1. Queen's Reign 10-1. Sunfall with a first time tongue tie for David O'Meara. Switch from William Haggis to David O'Meara. Second start for the Yard 14s. Vicario 40-1 and Rock Mountain Way for Charlie Fellows 50-1. Now, we start at the top of the market. As always, Shawari was a very, very good 2-year-old. Very good 2-year-old indeed. She made her comeback having missed plenty of time at Kempton in March. She was beaten 5 lengths by Soprano on the all-weather. Now, there's lots of reasons to expect her to improve off that run. It was her first run on the all-weather. It was her first run for a long time off the track. She shaped okay in listed company, but she's now been off another 133 days, and that has to be a slight concern. Now, Jamie Spencer's been booked. He was on last time at Kempton. I don't expect her to be held up. I expect her to push forward. And if she retains the ability that she had when she was a 2-year-old, then certainly she will take all of the beating. But we know that. Everybody knows that. The market knows that. It's got her towards the head of the market. But you are taking a few risks, okay? She's never been to Haydock before. She is returning from 133 days off. The form of her seasonal return to action was only average. She needs to step forward. She does need to step forward, and she may well do. But I think taking her on is the right approach rather than backing her. Arola is second fav. This horse certainly needs headgear, in my opinion, and probably slow ground is a little bit awkward. Found very, very little at Ascot when running behind the winner Misinformation in the Kensington Palace Stakes. Never Let Go, who won at Ascot, needs a real stiff test. And I've got a funny feeling that Kieran Schumacher from Stall 9 is going to drop in and try and come late. I don't like that at Haydock. I don't like horses being ridden too far off the gallop. I think races around there can be dictated by a front runner and they can quicken away off the front end. I'm going to side with Protest, who I think is quite a good bet. 7-1, drawn in stall 8, Roger Varian, Sylvester de Souza. Obviously a winner of a Class 3 handicap last time, so needs to improve dramatically. But really did get on top of that Class 3 handicap. And a seasonal return at the same venue in Goodwood earlier this year when beaten 2 lengths by Crimson Advocate, I thought was a really good run. She looked a little bit rusty. She ran on again at the front. I think the Newbury run between those two, I think you can forgive that. She was caught on the rail, couldn't really get going. But I love the way that she was fierce out of the gates at Goodwood. And Sylvester de Souza wanted to be prominent with her. I just think she's a very strong stayer at this trip. And I do think that if she gets out quickly like she did at Goodwood and she gets into a very good position, I think it's going to take a very good one to come from off the pace to beat this 3-year-old. Now, this 3-year-old is getting the weight for age allowance, £4 weight for £7 weight for age allowance in here. And I think she's highly progressive. I do think there's lots in her favour. I think she's got enough speed to cope with Haydock. I think she'll be ridden forward, and I think she'll be very hard to catch. So Protest to me looks like a fair each way bet from stall 8 for Roger Varian and Sylvester de Souza. Right, we'll move on to the 3 o'clock at Haydock. This is the Rose of Lancaster Stakes. It is on ITV. It's a Group 3 worth 48 grand to the winner. Detain, the 3-year-old, heads to market. These are the best prices again. 3-1. Hartem at 7-2. Royal Dubai 7-2. Military Order 11-2. Haunted Dream 12-1. Okeechobee 12-1. First Conquest returning to action for Charlie Appleby. 1 or 2 Charlie Appleby runners in here, ridden by David Probert 20-1. Certain Lad 25-1, maybe just a little bit over the hill now. Certain Lad at the age of 9, but Detain for me I think is another favourite we should be taking on. This is a horse who's a 3-year-old, does get a nice weight for age allowance of £8, so on ratings he really ought to be towards the top of the market. That's why he's there. He needs to bounce back from a really poor effort at Ascot last time when finishing 10th for 12 in the Hampton Court. Time before that, he was quite good over in France. Time before that, he was quite good over in France, being beaten by Henry Matisse and Camille Passaro. However, he is a horse that travels exceptionally well in his races, and I'm not entirely convinced that he finds as much as looks likely. He is another one that I can see headgear going on in the short term. Now, he's been off 51 days since that Ascot heavy defeat in that Hampton Court. Maybe something wasn't quite right with him there. But again, it's another one you're sort of taking a bit of a chance with at a similar price to in the first race as Shawari. And I'm just not ready or wanting to take that chance at such a short price. Hartem is pretty rock solid. Been rock solid all season, but he does have a limit to his potential, right? He's not really improving. He's not really stepping forward as much as you would hope with Hartem. And he looked outpaced. Considering he was running over 7 furlongs in a mile last year, he looked very much outpaced at Ascot behind Never So Brave, who is a progressive horse. I think I'm going to side with Royal Dubai. I think the market has not taken his victory at Newbury literally. I think they put it down to a bit of a freak result. I don't agree. I think Royal Dubai always had a big performance in him, and his previous trainer, Marco Botti, just couldn't get it out of him for whatever reason. The switch to Warren Burroughs seems to have perked him up. I love the way Callum Rodriguez rode him at Newbury. A bit more positive than he had been ridden for his previous yard. He's got plenty of pace. He's had enough pace to be beaten just 5 lengths by Sardinian Warrior in the Queen Anne trial behind the likes of Docklands. And this trip opens avenues for further improvement for Royal Dubai, who, like I say, is a horse that has been threatening to put in a big performance, and he just hasn't. So I'm very much hopeful that he can take a step forward again for Owen Barrows, Callum Rodriguez, Jordan Stall 2, riding prominently, riding handy, and I think he should be faster than these on the day. So Royal Dubai would be the one of interest to me. Haunted Dream will be popular, no doubt, but I think he should have ran at Goodwood. I don't think the ground was an excuse for him at Goodwood. Military Order is a horse that is going the right way. Big eye-catching effort behind Hartem at Ascot last time. He could be ready to put in a decent performance, but I just think he'll lack the pace of a Royal Dubai in here. And I think this is there for the taking this race. This Group 3 at 3 o'clock at Haydock. Right, let's move over to the Curragh. And we are looking at the 325, the Group 3 worth 41,000. Again, surprisingly, no prices for this race at the moment. We are recording at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, so it's a little bit early. But this is a race that should be shown all over the place because this is a cracking Group 3 contest, and I have a firm preference for the 3-year-old under Colin Keane in Babouche, who I think has got a pure excuse for the run at Ascot last time. I just don't think she likes travelling outside of Ireland. She's back in Ireland. She was absolutely fantastic when destroying Whistlejacket at Naas on her penultimate start. She returns to the Curragh where she's 3 for 3. She gets the allowance, which almost negotiates the penalty that she's got in this grade. I don't think stall 4 will be an issue. I think this is there for the taking. And some of the sectionals she clocked the time before at Naas were just absolutely unbelievable. I think there's more to come from her as a 3-year-old, and I don't think we've seen the best of her yet. So I think she'll take a world of whacking in that contest. We flick straight back over to Newmarket for the 340. This is on ITV. It's the Sweet Solera Stakes. It's worth 34 grand, and we do have some prices for this. Dance to the Music is 7 to 4. best price. These are the best prices. 7 to 4, Charlie Appleby. Billy Lockdown continues the partnership, having won on her on debut. William Buick is over in Saratoga on Saturday, so will not be riding in the UK. But Dance to the Music, 7 to 4, top of the market. The race she won on debut has got such a good roll of honour. It's absolutely outrageous, to be honest with you. Some of the winners of that novice stakes: Mountain Breeze, Jabara, Morge, Danya, Catchit. Lots of horses have gone on to win in Group 1 company. So Dance to the Music could be that type, but has been kept off the track 84 days since that run. Venetian Lace's second fav for Charlie Johnson, 6 to 1. Princess Petrol, so impressive at Ascot for Ed Walker on her last start 15 days ago, 13 to 2. Midnight Tango already been behind the favourite, 7 to 1. Sapphire Steps, 9 to 1. True Test, who does definitely want a true test at this trip, 14 to 1. Dance to Music steps up to 7 furlongs. She looks like a speedy filly to me. She's a half sister to the brilliant Space Blues, but I do think 6 furlongs is probably her game at the moment. She's got a very quick, short, sharp stride, and I'm not entirely sure what to expect stepping up to 7 furlongs, to be honest with you. So it'll be a no-bet race for me, but I can't wait to see how Dance to the Music gets on. If I was going to be forced to have a bet in the race, which I'm not, Princess Patrol I thought was so impressive at Ascot. I thought she powered away, and I think moving up in trip is definitely going to improve her. She undoubtedly wants to go up further than 6 furlongs. She's by St Mark's Basilica. And she's a half sister to Exactly Right, who was a winner over a mile, and lots of horses that have won over 7 furlongs to a mile. So I think she's going to improve stepping up and trip. That's Princess Patrol for Ed Walker. In the 340 July Stakes at Newmarket, Curragh, the 4 o'clock at the Curragh. This is the Phoenix Stakes. Group 1, 206 grand to the winner, and looks like we got a good thing in here. Gustad at the top of the market, 5 to 6. True Love, Aidan runs 2. Ryan Moore has chosen Gustad over True Love. Gustad actually beat True Love earlier on his debut very comfortably, despite not having a clear crack at things. So you can clearly see why Ryan Moore has chosen this horse. A winner last time out, over 6 furlongs of the Coventry Stakes. He looks a pretty nice type. True Love, 5 to 2. Green Sense, 15 to 2. Power Blue, been behind a pair of them at the top of the market, 10 to 1. Puerto Rico, just a bit disappointing last time. Roland Whelan rides for Aidan O'Brien, 16s. The Bronx for David Lochnan and Declan McDonough, 25s. Gustad, good thing. We don't need to spend too much time on that particular race, because providing that there's no traffic issues, he shouldn't really be getting beat in that. And 5 to 6 is probably a little bit generous. I think the nap of the day will be Babouche in that 15.25 at the Curragh in the Group 3, providing the prices are correct. But with no prices, I can't really give you a strong nap at the moment. But I hope you've enjoyed that. That is your alternative view to the Shergar Cup. Say no to the Shergar Cup. Until next time, everybody, as you can see, be lucky and take care.